The corner, the corner, the corner.
Hey, welcome. Come on into Cousin Ed's Corner. This podcast is where you'll find real, authentic conversation, organic conversation, unscripted, unfiltered conversation, like you're home with your cousin. It's all about life. It's about finance. It's about spirituality. It's about love and everything in between. I'm your host, Cousin Ed. I'm excited to bring you along on this journey. So sit back and listen in as we dive into a wide range of topics. I have some diverse guests coming on with an array of thoughts and opinions. My goal is to create a space all for us to connect and communicate. It's not really about me. It's about the community as a whole. Let's enjoy it. Let's sit back. Let's think about our past. Let's move into our future. It's about
the corner, the corner, the corner. So no matter how you cut it or slice it, we're all here together. I'm just here to give you a piece of my heart, my mind, my soul, and my mentals. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Cousin Ed's Corner. The corner, the corner, the corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Cousin Ed. Yes, indeed. Back with another one, Cousin Ed's Corner. And today is going to be a corner connection. The corner connection. The corner connection. Normally we do a motivational Monday. So I will say, hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Hopefully you had a great time with your friends, family, and loved ones. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the holiday weekend, which you may not hear this. Whenever you hear this, it was the 4th last week. So hopefully you enjoyed the holiday weekend. There were a lot of discussions around us enjoying the 4th for the reasons of the 4th, but that's a whole nother show. But hopefully you enjoyed time with your friends and family and was able to celebrate the connections with them, right? Able to celebrate the connections with them and the time off. I say that much. But today's show is going to be brief. I was just talking to my son. We're talking about just my childhood and some of my upbringing. And it brought me to my summer times and some of the things I did growing up in New York. And he was like, well, how was it? And I just told him about, playing in the Johnny Pump. For those who ever seen, if you're not from New York, if you ever seen a movie from New York, the kids outside with the hydrants, right? We call them Johnny Pumps, with the hydrants and get a can and look, go see Do the Right Thing, right? Go watch that, right? Kids outside playing in the hydrants, us riding our bikes through the city. One thing I was telling him about that many people in New York may remember, especially if you was a 70s baby, but grew up in the 80s, was and I'm not sure about y'all. This is me, right? I collected cans in the summertime. You're probably like, collected cans? What are we talking about? So in New York, back in the 80s, they would give you 5 cents per can or bottle. So for me to get my candy money, my store money and everything else, outside of what my mom gave me, I would collect cans. So I would get up in the morning, and I lived near the Junction. That's where the bus and the train, everything connects, right? 2 train, 41 bus, 44, all that, right? Flatbush, big up. I would go down to the Junction with my garbage bag and collect cans. So my son was like, you collect cans? I'm like, yeah. He was like, see, you grew up different than me. I'm like, yeah, I did, but it was a hunger in me to want, more things. And that was one way of me getting more money, right? So I was telling him stories about that, and he was amazed by that. And I went on to talk about how I was a runner, call him a runner, right? I would go, it was a office building next door to me. In the summers, I would work there, and I would go get their lunch. I'll go pick up their dry cleaning. I'll go get their dinner sometimes, right? I remember one time as a young kid, they asked me to go buy a birthday card for somebody. I'm like, what, 10, 11, 12, whatever age I was, going to get a birthday card. It was a summer experience of working in the city and, being independent on Flatbush and doing all of the things that kids in New York do, right? We had quarter waters. We had Bonton chips, right? We would sit up all night long on top of somebody's car and just talk and hang out. Or sit on the stoop and hang out and watch people walk by. It was some of the best times of my life, right? Friends, they come to my backyard, we play basketball, and then we go across the street, get a hero sandwich, come back, eat the hero sandwich with a 2-liter soda, chill out, go up to Vanderveer Park, play some basketball, come back, go to the Chinese restaurant, get some rib tips and fries. I'm trying to reminisce on all the stuff we did. For everybody from New York who remember these days, right? Y'all go to Wing Shack or Wingstop now, right? We had the Chinese restaurant where they would put you get 4 whole wings in this wax paper bag, and they'll put hot sauce in the paper bag with it while it's steaming hot. I'm telling you, it was a die for. Get a grape soda, or the champagne from the Jamaican restaurant. Sodas. Those were the days. For everybody who grew up in Flatbush, y'all remember Get Set? Go down to Get Set, look at the sneakers. Had some great times growing up in New York. So I was telling my son how independent we were and how much we were able to hustle as kids. We knew how to make $1 as kids, from doing something. And at the time, it wasn't no illegal stuff. At that age, wasn't anything illegal. Not that you didn't know some people were, but whole nother story. But we had great fun, man. Like, you would see the older girls, not ladies, but older girls walking across the street, and you were like, oh man, you can't wait till you grew up. Music was just everything at the time. This is the Run DMC all the way through KRS-Ones, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane. Oh, I'm from Flatbush. Special Ed. Get the Special Eds coming up, Chubb Rocks. Man, our summer times was just... Wingate Park will have the free concerts. If you're from New York, you know what I'm talking about. But all right, I'm gonna get off it's hard to get off New York right now, but listen, wherever you were from, if you were a 70s, 80s baby, hey, tell us about your summer times. What made your summer times fun? Right? What memories do you have from your summer times? And this is like at the point where, my younger years, I was going down south. That's a whole nother story. Going down south in the summer. I'll tell that story real quick before I get out of here. So, as a young kid, your parents want to get ready, right? So, school let us out June 24th, 25th, 26th, around it. That night, it felt like, I promise it was that night. That night, you're in a car going down south. You got a brown paper bag with some Wonder Bread in it, right? You got another brown paper bag with the chicken in it, right? You got the quarter waters, suitcases in the back. It's 6 of y'all in this back of this car. I have my uncle driving. Now, I don't know how they drove from state to state with no walkie-talkies, no cell phones. They just, follow each other. My uncle mainly drove us down. And that was another set of times that was some of the best times of my life, right? Going down south and stopping at the Maryland House on 95, right? You knew after you stopped at the Maryland House, our next big stop was probably going to be south of the border. So you would save your money from, your parents sending you down south to go to south of the border. You want to get all the fireworks. You want to get all the fireworks you can, because for us, we coming from New York, we got to come down with all the fireworks. We got everything that everybody don't have, right? So you go in south of the border and get all the fireworks you can. And my uncle be like, don't spend all your money. He didn't care. He was trying to get a nap on. So we would go down south, and now we big man on campus, right? I say campus, but big man in town, right? We got all these fireworks, and our cousins looking at us like crazy, like y'all gonna, oh y'all, y'all gonna pop all these fireworks. So I have a little stash for my little cousin, give him some. But it was some of the best times being on. My grandma lived on a dirt road in South Carolina, right? Being on that dirt road, just kicking dirt, walking in the middle of the night under the stars, going to my uncle's house. My grandmother, she had AC. She didn't even want you to put the AC on, so we had to go around to my uncle's house, who had cable and AC. Walking over there in the middle of the night, and great times, man, great times. So, like I was saying, tell us about your summertime memories with your family, your friends. What city were you in? What was big and popular in your city? What were y'all doing that was different than, definitely my upbringing in New York and South Carolina? What was different in your upbringing? What are some fun things you did? What's one of the memories you wish you can do it if you had to do it all over again? If you can go back in time, what are some of the memories you want to go back and do? Right? Real quick, Reese Beach, New York. Oh man, listen. Going to Coney Island in New York. Okay, so my last story. I got goosebumps right now because this one just came up. So when we came back from South Carolina, our reward was to go to Coney Island. So when we knew we was on the way back, we knew that next weekend or whatever, our parents were gonna take us to Coney Island. I think about it now, it's probably their guilt trip. They was guilty from what they were doing. If the walls can only talk while we were gone. So that was part of their guilt trip to get us back and make us happy going to Coney Island. But we had a lot of fun going to Coney Island. My dad would take us to Action Park, Six Flags, all of that. A lot of great memories as a kid growing up in New York. All right, I'm out of here, fam. I had to get that story off my chest because me and my son was just talking about it. But yeah, totally different growing up in the 70s and 80s. Totally different, I think, growing up in New York, being as independent as we were, in the middle of the street all night long with nobody, really checking on you. You just out there. So yeah, totally different. Yeah, I love you guys. So like I said, it wasn't Motivational Monday, but it's just something that's just to reminisce on. All right, go play Will Smith Summertime. You hear it all through that song, how cool it was growing up in the city. All right, love y'all. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Cousin.